How's it going, everybody? This is Kyprotonic here. Sorry for the lack of content over Christmas and the brand new year, but kind of just gets a little bit busy in my life. And yeah, spending time with the family and all that type of jazz, I just have to affiliate with my life doing that first. So, anyway, I actually have a new battle, and the opponent will be in the title like usual. Can't remember who it was. And yeah, it was a pretty decent match. Looking at the opponent's team, he has kind of like a Sandstorm team there with a Regirock, Gastrodon, and a Hippodon, which was a bit surprised. No. Oh, Gastrodon's fine, but I mean, the Hippodon and Tyranitar was surprising, and to see a Regirock was even more surprising. Potential leads are probably going to be the Hippodon or Tyranitar, so, two Sandstorm Inducers was a bit question mark to me personally, but oh well, that's what, if you want to use that, you go for that. Anyway, Hippodon's the lead for my opponent, and I have Rotom. I'm not really wanting to make an over prediction. I'm going to predict the switch out, of course, and my opponent's going to go straight into Gastrodon, which was fairly obvious, so I'm going to Will-O-Wisp that thing. More commonly, these things are kind of like special, so really that's not going to do too much. But I'm going to go into Fortress so I can actually try and set up like some entry hazards on this thing. I wasn't predicting Toxic, and I'll tell you that truthfully. I was kind of predicting either the Earth Power, or even the Scald, Boiling Water, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to get up one layer of Toxic Spikes whilst my opponent brings in this Skarmory. And I kind of make a misplay here because I actually allowed this Skarmory to pull off a taunt. I forgot about the taunt as well, so I can't get anything else up there. So I'm going to have to be switching out. I'm going to go into Tyranitar. And now my opponent's actually able to get up a few layers of spikes, but that doesn't really bother me just because Fortress is very important to this team just because it has access to the Rapid Spin, so it's generally a very useful Pokemon on my team anyway. So I'm gonna Fire Blast the thing after setting up my rocks. Obviously, that's kind of more of a special oriented Skarmory. More often than not, they used to be anyway in 4th gen. But now in comes a Regirock. We both double switch here. I wasn't too sure what my opponent was gonna go into. Anyway, but I go straight back into Fortress now just to kind of break the spikes layering. I'm just going to Rapid Spin them all away. But of course, this Regirock's going to start setting up all over me, and I'm kind of a bit frustrated at this point with myself because after looking back on this battle, I should have just Rapid Spin on that turn, and then switched out to something that could actually threaten this thing because it kind of caused my team a lot more pain than it should have done. I'm actually going to allow this thing just to get like +3 here. And that was kind of a bit stupid on my behalf. I should have just like Rapid Spin, but I was so eager to get up my Toxic Spikes for some reason. And that's kind of like my usual play. I'm like always thinking, oh, let's get up the like certain entry hazards sometimes. Or I'm actually trying to do like 2 things at once, which you should never do. And you should always like eliminate the major threat that's always in front of you instead of trying to play to your own game. Sometimes that kind of throws you off, I feel. You have to like deal with what's always in front of you, and get rid of that threat as soon as possible because things, if they start setting up and you don't really deal with it, then you're kind of screwed and you might just eventually get swept. But I think my opponent now got up like +3 of curses, but that only raised its defense and attack, etc. So I go with Hydro Pump, and the thing barely lives, and that kind of annoyed me just because now it also goes with the rest. So it is actually a sleep talking variant of a Regirock. I haven't really versed a Regirock since like 2 years ago. That's not really just exaggerating, but I really don't see a Regirock all that often in Sand teams, all that often even in a standard match or even in general. So I don't know if people like using them. I wouldn't use it, but there's better things to use in a Sand team. But whatever floats your boat, I guess. So now I'm going to go into my star of Pokemon, which is Terrakion, of course. I'm on a balloon, so this is where the fun begins for me, just because I can actually set up like +2, and kind of hope my opponent doesn't actually pull off like some many rock slides. I'm going to have to try and set up to +4 or 6 eventually, just because, that thing has so many curses up, and if I close combat once and he pulls off like a rock slide, whether it's via using like the Sleep Talk or just naturally using it as an attacking move, Terrakion's pretty much done for. And yeah, so I just need to get +6, which I decided to do. And this is where the fun begins, I guess, again. Because, you know, he's actually got so many curses. Unfortunately, he don't pull off a rock slide just there, but I'm going to close combat, and I thought this thing was modern enough to sufficiently kill it off, but it barely lives, so, like, twice over this thing's, like, survived so many strong attacks, but the close combat is kind of understandable, but the Hydro Pump one was a bit surprising, but whatever. So here I thought, well, I've kind of lost my Terrakion, but nope, I barely live. That really did surprise me, just because obviously my defenses were lowered thanks to the side effect of close combat, but a second close combat is now able to finish off the Regirock, and from this point forward, I actually do sweep my opponent's team. And I don't know what you guys like sweeps, but I kind of have limited material on my computer, so I just kind of needed to just upload this thing, and that crit really didn't matter because I'm at +6. Yeah, so I will, if I ever upload like a sweep, it would probably be every so often. I'm not going to like upload about every battle like as a sweep. I try to go for the better matches, and that's what I kind of personally like to watch. But a sweep every once in a while is not really much of a problem, I don't feel anyway. So if you do like this type of stuff, or you didn't, you're also allowed to leave like a like or dislike, comment, and keep subscribing, you know, do that sort of thing. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you have that sort of stuff. I'll leave all that information in the description of the video. Also, I've been playing like a bit of Mario Kart 7 in my spare time recently. I've been trying to play a lot more with MBZ, but we need to try and play a little bit more if we can, because it's so much fun. Especially like if you get a group of people. I think the game's like one of the best things to play as a group. Yeah, so if you ever kind of like to know about that information, just follow me on Twitter or follow MBZ on Twitter. So you kind of will actually get the chance to play with us sometime, I guess. Yeah, but other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and peace out. Bye.